Hi, everyone, and welcome to another recording. In this lab, we'll talk about chatbots. Nowadays, we almost notice everywhere. Almost any website you visit, you would find some kind of a chatbot or what is called a virtual agent. Sometimes that will enable you to ask quick questions and get responses 24/7 without the need to have a human on the other side answering your question. Now, you probably think, well, how would that help my business? Of course, in terms of customer relationship service and management, um, it's no brainer that these will help your customers getting answers and maybe reduce the amount of calls or emails or even the need for humans to just keep answering repetitive questions from your customer. Now, but this is not all. If you notice, even when you go to Power Apps here at the bottom, there is a virtual agent. So let me zoom in here a little bit quickly. Just one more time. Here at the bottom, there is Ask a Virtual Agent. And if I click on this Ask Virtual Agent, as a user of Power Apps, I can ask different questions. So, for example, here, you can see that, hello, I'm virtual agent and blah, blah, blah. Then after that, select next. If you're ready to continue, just tell you about the privacy and stuff. That they're going to collect some information and then click on next. And maybe I want, here's it. Can I help you with any of the following topics? The AI builder, how to create an app creation, Dataverse, different environments, flows, licenses, troubleshooting, or I need help with something else. So, that will help me instead of just, going through regular searches and websites and different pages. I might get to what I want more, or I will be able to get to what I want easier, more efficient. So here, for example, okay, go ahead and type a brief description of your problem below and I'll try to find answer for you. So here, for example, I want to say create a chat bot. Now that so when I put in that question certain words, these words will be considered as triggers. So if this virtual agent on the back end has a topic where chatbot is one of the, let's say, triggers, then it will walk me through a certain scenario. So here, for example, let's look at the example. Create a chatbot. One moment. Let me see if I can find some answers to your questions. Let's see if I can find you some help. I'm sorry I can't help you today. If you'd like to get help from fellow users and experts, use Power Apps community site. So redirected me to the community site, which is a good resource. If you'd like to create a support request, visit the Power Apps support site. Would you like me to help with anything else? So let's say, I saw the AI model. So let's say AI builder. Now here, there are several business scenarios that Power Automate AI builder models can help you with. Here are a few examples. Just select one to learn more. Invoice processing or text recognition. Maybe I want to learn more about how to use AI model or AI builder to create, excuse me, the I want to use the AI builder to create an AI model for invoice processing, as we did in a previous example with scanning business cards and then pulling the information directly from those images rather than use a manual way of entering data. So I say, okay, maybe invoice processing. And here it now walks me through that. through the question or through my problem and try to walk me through the answer. As you can see here, say the pre-built invoice processing model in AI Builder is designed to extract data from fields commonly found in invoices. To use this pre-built model in Power Automate, you can expand the AI Builder, select Build, select Extract information from invoices, select Upload New. Make sure to respect the following limitations. They're telling you about some limitations, that the type of documents that you can upload for that AI model to extract data, and the maximum document size, which is the maximum image size, 20 megabytes. Did you solve the problem? Yes or no? So I might say, okay, well, I'm done, yes. And then it will exit from this conversation. Great. Did you want to go back and see what other things you can do with AI Builder? I'm done for today. So I would say no. Great. Please rate your experience. Then I can give it a rating. Well, that was a good rating because I'm going to give it a good rating because it helped me solve my problem. Can I help you with something else? No, I'm good. No, thanks. Thank you for chatting with me. Bye. So you saw this kind of a scenario. It's really helpful, especially again for repetitive questions. So as I said, from a customer perspective or to serve customers, that's very obvious. But what if those customers that you're serving are not external, they're internal? For example, you work in an accounts payables and you get questions from people about when the next paycheck will be, other questions. Maybe you work in accounting and people want to figure out about their taxes, when their W-2 form is going to be ready, for example. Maybe if they want to update the W form, how they can do that. You know, those kind of repetitive questions. If you look at your department and see the survey, the amount of questions that you get, you probably find a good percentage of it just repeated. So the point here, to reduce this amount of, let's say, communication through phone, through email, will definitely make you more efficient in what you're doing, or your department and the people that you work with, or the team that you're leading, and make you focus on questions that need more energy, like let's say more human intervention. For example, in my situation, I get when I look at a class like the one I teach here, or other classes that teach undergrad or even certificates, graduate certificates, I would find, especially with big classes, that 80 to 85% of the questions are repeated. Things about certain assignment or certain part of an assignment. And then what I found is there is quite a repetition. So I personally speaking try to work on a chatbot. Maybe this will make things easier for students, where they know, instead of going to Canvas, there's so much material, it's hard to navigate and find what you want. You can go to the chatbot and ask that chatbot. And then, I keep getting feedback. As you see here, the chatbot will ask for feedback and you get it, and then you try to modify it little bit by little bit. And then after a while, you'll get a very efficient virtual agent to help you. So I'm going to give you here an example. The example will assume that I'm creating this chatbot for the HR department here on our campus, sorry. And to answer, basic questions about benefits. Every year we get to we are asked to choose different types of insurance, or different type of benefits, or maybe people want to apply to our campus. They want to figure out what type of benefits they get, and so on. Those questions are quite repetitive, and also they're kind of predictable. Means that you can run a certain scenarios in a certain way to be able to give somebody an answer. If not, for example, if you try to provide information to somebody and you find that all those scenarios get to an end, you can ask the person if they want to talk to a human agent, and then you redirect them to the human agent. So if you think about it, this will reduce the amount of, let's say, avoidable communication with human agents. which means that we probably need less people in the HR department to answer those questions. Or the people who are already in the HR department now, we can make their life easier and less busy and reduce this amount of busy work by adding technology and solving this existing problem. All right, so how can we do that? Well, I'm on the Power Apps, so this is makepowerapps.com. Right, and you notice I'm in the incognito. I'm gonna make sure that my environment is switched, so I'm gonna go here to test 2. Oh, before I do that, I got a couple questions about licensing. I just want to show you about the stuff that we need here. You don't need to pay for it. So here, if I go to admin dot microsoft.com, we just use free licenses, and by the time we're done with our lab, if that license expired, it's not a big deal. So this is admin.microsoft.com. And I go to billing, and here there is licenses. And you probably received an email about a license being expired, the Dynamics 365. You can see mine is expired, but I don't use it anymore. So whatever you need for this lab, you only need the Power Virtual Agents trial, which once you click on the chatbot and click on create, it'll ask you if you want to use this license. And by the time you finish and submit your work, you'll be done. You don't have to worry about this license being expired. So to sum it up, you don't have to pay for anything to complete these labs unless you want to. That's a different story. Or you're working in a company that provide you with these licenses. So sadly speak, on our campus, we don't have all those licenses. They're quite pricey. I didn't manage to convince IT to provide us with those licenses yet. I mean, hopefully they will at a certain point. So for now, we're fine with what we've been working on since the beginning. We're using all those trial or free licenses. Once they expired, we're not worried about the stuff that we did because it will be passed. And those labs, once we complete them, we don't have to go back to them again. All right, so I'll hit on create for the chatbot. And here, this is, you have the screen, small video to teach you a little bit about it. If you want to get it started, it tells you here, basic conversational bot. If you want to learn a little bit more about those virtual agents, like Power Virtual Agents Quick Start, or if you want to push your bot to certain preferred channels that you want. For example, I can have this bot in Teams. So for example, I can create a TA bot for me, right, on Teams, and students can, directly go and start chatting with that TA, or virtual agent that is a TA. Sometimes you don't even have to tell the end user that this is a virtual agent. And simply, when they start chatting with that bot, if the bot cannot help them, then they will redirect them to a human. Which could be in this scenario. The same thing, there could be like an HR assistant virtual agent that I can simply access through Teams, and I am that virtual agent. The beauty of that is it will be available 24/7, right? So after hours, on weekends, and so on, which humans, sometimes I could not assume their availability for 24/7. Especially during holidays, weekends, summertime, for example, on campus, a lot of people take time off and so on. Also gives you some kind of analytics. So the beauty of using the virtual bot is you can collect some meaningful insights about the chat and what people are focusing on and what the kind of questions they get. And also you can find new topics with artificial intelligence. So you can also add AI to this equation and make it even more interesting. So here you can scan your documentation support and assist for suggestions, quickly add more topics for the bot to discuss, and so on. All right, so simply we're going to go here to new chatbot. I'm going to click on that, and we'll open a new tab. And now you will notice that we have been redirected to Power VA web.virtualagent.microsoft.com. So web.powerva.microsoft.com. The first time you probably open this, it will ask you if you want to use a trial license or not. Because I tested this before this video, so it's not gonna show up for me. So again, just hit yes. It's a free trial. You're not paying for it, and you don't have to worry about if it gets expired. Now here you can see that I am signed in with my personal account. So this is not the UWOsh. As you can see, this is the domain on Microsoft.com. So I created this one in my personal email. I just want to mention that. So when I want to name the bot, I would call it HR Virtual Assistant. And then what type of language I want, I'll be in the English language. And select what type of environment I want, and just, again, when I'm not using the UW default environment, I can either use test 1 or test 2. These are just environment I created. You can choose one of your personal environments that you created earlier, or you create a new environment from scratch. I'm just going to keep it under test 1 and hit create. It'll take like a minute or so for it to complete, so I'm going to pause and come back once it's completed. Awesome. Now everything is ready. You can see here that this is the home screen. I have topics. Again, here you can see on the right, there is a quick start with topic suggestion or suggestions. Use AI to find questions and answer, pair in your organization documentation or support assets. Edit and test your bot. You can test your bot before you use and deploy it. And publish the bot and expand your reach to your customers, internal, external, and others. All right, some of the videos that help you to learn different things about the virtual assistant, like create topics and test your bot, user slot filling and built-in entities to save authoring time, publishing your bot to a website, get topic suggestions from web pages, and so on. Now, the second thing is you can here see the test bot as well, where you can test the bot, and you can just say hello, and then to see different responses and stuff. Now there are some topics, and now I clicked here on topics just to make sure you guys following me. And topics here, you can see that each bot comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 lessons. Now they are enabled by default, and then there are some, let's say, pre-existing, let's say, conversation, if you want to call it that way, greeting, escalating a problem, end of conversation, confirm success, and so on. Bye, good, start over, thank you. But for those lessons, I'm going to simply, I will turn them off. Oops. Same thing here. Now you can keep them on and test and play with them if you want, but for the sake of this demo and this lab, I'm just I'm going to turn them off. All right. And then after that, let's look at this. Before I start a new topic, let me go here and click on entities. There's different entities that pre-exist there in the Power Virtual Agents. Analytics, I told you guys about analytics. There's a Power BI that will pull some information about your virtual agents. Now, we don't have any information here yet. Or maybe because I tested one, it might pull something out. But you can see total session, engagement rate, resolution, escalation, abandon rate, and so on. No information are pulled out because we haven't done anything, but these provide really awesome insights that can help you. And then publish. Finally, after you finish what you're trying to create. And then here you can see configure channels, set up channels for your bot, check that page frequently to see updates for new different channels, I talked about Teams. There are different channels where you can deploy your bot. And here you can also collect data to make it better and check the health of the bot using the analytics page, and then manage for managing different things about your bots. So let's go back to topics, and here I'm going to create a new topic. All right, so starting a new topic. I click on the plus sign for the new topic. And here, first thing I want to do is to name that topic. So I'm going to call this one employee benefits. And then the first thing you have to think about is what would be the trigger for this topic. So when somebody type in the chat certain words, how would the virtual agent knows how to redirect that person to this topic? So I already did this, like was practicing creating such a bot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm simply gonna, just not to make this very long, copy and paste from my example. I open it in a different window so you would know what I'm doing here. So for example, I chose certain trigger phrases. So here you can type the trigger phrase, right? So employee advantages, for example. I'm going to use employee benefits. Maybe benefits. And, other terms or other phrases you think that the end user for this virtual agent would be using. Obviously, the more phrases you add, the easier it is for the virtual agent to figure out what is the user wants. Now, there is a good practice is to go to SharePoint or go to your intranet or website and figure out from the analytics what are the most common terms that people use in the search. And then, this is kind of more educated way rather than just guessing to put those phrases. But now, again, so as not to make this too long, I just gonna add these three words. Now, the first thing would be a message. I'm just a big fan of making this humanify it, even if people know it's a bot. So, for example, here I'm gonna add a message. So as these, phrases or triggers being entered by the user, hello, my name is Alyssa. I am the HR or human resources. Again, this is from a previous example I created. Virtual assistant. What is your name? How can I know what is your name? All right. So, some people don't like to add a name. I like to add a name, even if it's a bot, make it more human-like. So the thing that this is a question, it's not a message, right? So I'm asking the user a question. So I'm gonna go as I cut this, and I don't want to show a message here. I want to add a question. So I clicked on the plus sign. So one more time here, there is this plus sign that shows at the end of this line to add a new node. And this will be asking a question. What type of question it is? Well, first of all, I'm going to paste here the question that I created. All right, so hello, my name is Alyssa. I am the Human Resources Virtual Assistant. What is your name? And then I expect the user to enter a value. So here, user enter response, which is the name. Now, once the user enter that response, then a variable will be created. Now it's called var, short for variable, and it's a text because that the user will enter a text. I don't like keeping the default. That'll make it a little bit confusing later on if you're using so many variables. So I'm gonna add here name. So this is the name of that variable. And you can see here, there are different features. I'm just going to keep them as is and then move on to the next part. All right, so the user will enter his, her, their name, and then I like to use the name back in a message. So well, I'm gonna do go, and I'm taking these directly from our human resources internet, just so you would know. And you would do this similar thing, but for your own organization or the place you work, or make up a scenario if you're not currently working. So here, I want to show a message, and the message here would say, "We're pleased you have chosen to join a dynamic, innovative group of employees at the UW system, whose contributions are vital to the success of public higher education in Wisconsin. I'd like you to add the name." So the end user entered the name, so I start with that person's name. So how would I do that? So I place the cursor here at the beginning, and what I'm going to do here is click on the insert and choose name. That's the name is the name of the variable from here again. So whatever the user gonna respond will be stored in a variable called name, right? And a variable, we call it variable because it could change. So start with this name. So if I enter Yazan, we are pleased that you have chosen to do this. And then, I'll add another message. Or, I don't need to enter another message. Let me just add a question after that. And the question here would be a multiple choice. I will give the user different choices about the benefits that UW system offer. So same thing, I'm gonna add a node, and here I'm going to ask a question. I'm gonna paste my question here. Understanding your options will help you make informed decisions so you get the most from your benefit plans. What benefit category would you like to learn more about? So here, for example, I wanted to keep a multiple choice option, and I'm gonna enter a couple of options. First thing maybe will be health insurance. People have asked a lot of questions about health insurance. Every year they have to make a choice, and so on. The second option would be dental and vision insurance. Right? So this is the second option. The third option would be life insurance. Fourth option, I'm going to stop at the fourth. Feel free to add more if you would like. But please make sure at least you have 4 different choices. Retirement plans. Awesome. So I have here 4 different choices, and you can see that. Let me close this. Let me zoom out a little bit. Now, because I'm giving the user 4 different options, now I have 4 different branches based on the option the user will pick. And for each option, I'm going to walk the users through a certain scenario. I'm going to make it short. I'm not going to make it too long after this. And here you can see that whatever the user chooses from this multiple choice option will be stored in a variable. So I'm going to call this, instead of var, I'm going to call it choice. Okay. So you can see if choice here, if choice is equal to health insurance, then it'll walk the user through a certain scenario. If it's equal to dental and vision insurance, go through this branch, life, and retirement. Kind of makes sense, right? Let's close this test bot for a little bit here just to give us more space. Sweet. So let me start, for example, with dental and vision or life insurance. So if the user uses a life insurance, I'm going to add a certain message here. So add a node, show message. As this message would say, the UW system offers life insurance plans that are designed to help protect you and your family against financial hardship in the event of your death. Right. And here I'm going to add maybe a link. So this is a link. I'm going to remove the link here for a little bit. Let me show you. All right. So to learn more, visit the following. And for that, you can add a URL here link. Okay. So I'm going to add this URL as an actual hyperlink. Oh, and that didn't work the way I liked it to be. So let's remove this. Let me just copy the URL. So one more time, add the URL, put it here, hit tick mark. All right, sweet. So now, if the user want to learn more about insurance, life insurance, they click on this, and that will take them to more information. Or you can make the conversation longer. It depends on you. Now, I want to ask the user if they're done or not. Okay, so here's the same thing. At the end of this, I want to ask the user, would they like to learn about another benefit? So ask a question, and this will be a multiple choice question. And I'd add here, would you like to learn about another benefit? And the answer would be either going to say yes, or they're going to say no. Awesome. So if they want to say, if they say no, this is straightforward. I'm gonna end this conversation. So click on the plus sign here, and here, let's say end conversation, end with a survey or transfer to an agent. So I'm gonna end with a survey. I ask about how was this helpful or not, blah blah blah. So end, and in case that they want to learn about another thing, instead of adding more branches, I'm going to make it loop back to the original question. What I mean by that, you can see here, we ask a question up here. Remember that what type of a benefit they want. And if they want to learn about another benefit, instead of just keep branching, I'm going to take the user back to the top. So how would I do that? Well, this is a little bit tricky. So once you click plus here, there is this small circle. And when you hover above it, it kind of changes in color. See how it changes in color? So once it changes in color, you have to drag it, and you can see that there is a line going with it. And you have to go and link it to the top of the question where you want the loop to start. So one more time. So here you can see that the user go through certain questions. They ask about what type of benefits they want to learn about, and then go through insurance. If they say no, then this will be the end of the conversation. If they yes, they want to learn about another insurance, I'm simply going to go back, take them from this part all the way back to here. Right, quite smart, right? They can keep asking about more insurance, more benefits, and learn more about them. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit, and let's try to work on the other branches. Now, let's see if, what about health insurance? Again, for health insurance, I already have a message that I created. And simply, I'm going to add this message over here. I'll provide information for the health insurance. The UW system offers comprehensive medical and prescription drug coverage to eligible employees, blah, 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 their families. And then at the end of it, I probably want to add a link so that, redirect them for additional information. And then I want to add a URL that will take them for that page. All right, sweet. Now here, after they learn about the health insurance, I simply want to ask them a similar question. So similar thing, click on add a node, hover above this small circle, this circle. See when it changes in color. See now it's kind of purplish. And then drag it and put it to that question. So now this question serves two branches. And same thing, if they are done, it says no. If they say no, they don't want to learn about anything else, no, and they will end the conversation. If they say yes, I'll go back all the way here and ask them what type of benefit they want to learn about. So let's do those other two. Same deal. Put that text and then add a node. Drag this and drop it here. Awesome. So those four branches, after they provide the information, they ask if they want to learn more about any other benefits. Yes, no, and keep going through the loop. As long as they say yes, once they hit say no, it will be done. You can see here that I kept that last one as var. I guess it's fine because this is the last variable. So the variable name, yes or no. And here, if the var, the variable is equal to yes. And here, the var is equal to no. All right. Make sure to hit save. You can click topic checker. There are no errors or warning in this topic. Awesome. And now you can test the bot. So here I can start with benefits. All right. So benefits. To clarify, did you mean benefits, employee benefits, or none of these? Well, employee benefits. Hello, my name is Alyssa. I'm the Human Resource Virtual Assistant. What is your name? See, now you can see that it invoked the topic, and now this conversation has started. So I'm going to type my name. My name is Yazan. So you use your name in your situation, and then you can see now it shows the different options or messages and then different options. So I want to learn about health insurance, or let's say take something that is small. Make sure to take a screenshot of this. So you need a screenshot of your topic, show the different topic with at least four different options or conditions. And then here, what you will do, I'm going to use life insurance. And here you can see that it provides me with information about life insurance. I can click on this link to give me more info if I need. And here, would you like to learn about another benefit? If I said yes, I'm going to go back and ask me the same question. I can choose health insurance and then provide me information about health insurance. Would you like to learn about another benefit? I would say no. Did I answer your question? Yes, you answered my question. Great. Please rate your experience. My experience was pretty good. Thank you for your feedback. Can I help you with anything else? I would say no. Thanks, Chad, for chatting with me. Bye. Pretty sweet and easy to build, which can really make your life easier and the life of people who need information from you or your department. Right, so this is done. Let's look at the just go back to topics. You can see that here are different topics. This is what I created earlier, but this is employee benefits, the one that I created with you. Here it talks about the trigger phrases. So this has 3 triggers, 5 triggers. You can see I did check these off. I can check this off as well. And then these are the different type of greetings. Escalate if you need to talk to a human, right? So let's say that let's click on this escalate topic, and you can see here talk to agent, talk to person, talk to someone, call back, blah blah blah. And then here if you want to add a link, so you talk to a real person. Now the cool things here is for calling an action, you can you create a flow. So you can use Power Flow to create a flow where they can connect this person with another with a human being or something like that. There's redirect to another topic if that is needed. To maybe collect more information and so on. So you can go back and modify the existing topics, right? Now the cool thing is also here, because we did a couple of examples. The analytics now, they get to create some of information that I can look at the different KPIs for the conversation I tried, or let's say users have tried, and so on. So you can see here, not a lot of information. We only tested it once. Excuse me. But you can see here that this can be very helpful in learning more about the virtual agents that you have created. I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, I think virtual agents are very powerful. They can reduce the amount of let's say avoidable communications about repetitive questions. Can provide 24/7 service for your employees, either I'm sorry, for your customers, either external customers or internal customers. And you can collect a lot of meaningful, let's say, insights from them to better serve, again, whomever interact with your department or unit needing information. You can deploy these in different environments as well. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this recording.